Jimbo.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Rhino.
With the other scores on the floor,
Holy
probably
moly,
needs to
Jimbo.
back off that a little bit.
No shortage.
Jerry, here's the question of the year.
content
What should
today.
Jody be expecting for Valentine's tomorrow?
Just probably we'll just spend all day making love. You know what I'm saying?
Holy moly,
Holy
Jim
moly, Jimbo.
Boboli, what's up on a Wednesday? The Kings have clinched a play-in spot. Can probably get that 9 seed taken care of if Dallas chokes tonight with Luka returning. But I told y'all yesterday that you were going to be happy. You're going to be excited about something. And that is it. Make sure you are tuned in to your local broadcast tonight. Jerry is doing the game. How about that? You're going to get Jerry back for a night. We are super excited for him. You know, we went through some lengthy negotiations with the Kings. We had to go through a buyout clause, and we ended up coming to a deal for Jerry to go from our halftime show to calling the game tonight. Kings Nuggets. Some days are slow news days. Today's not one of them. The last 24 hours has been bonkers in the NBA and the sports world. So we have plenty of content. Yeah, Athena, I'm telling you, we went through some lengthy negotiations. We had to bring the attorneys in. You know, how are we going to parse this out? What's this deal look like? Needed to make sure that Jerry got his best deal. But yes, Jerry will be calling the game tonight. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully you're not blacked out from that. Katie announced it this morning on the radio, so you can go check that out if you want. But really excited to see him back in the saddle for a night. So at least you got one half. One half is better than none of your combination back tonight. And for Katie, hope all is good and she enjoys her night off. But as for us, we've got 2 hours. Let's get to it. I have got a lot to go over. I mean, a lot to go over. So if you want to hop in, you can hop in now. We will Burger. Don't know how to talk. Burger. Today's just been kind of a weird day for me. I've been excited about Jerry, right? I was excited when I learned that yesterday. But then, like, I've kind of had a couple things hanging over my head that aren't the greatest. Stuff that we all go through. You know, everybody goes through life. And today, I got the news. For those that don't know, on my way to Stockton like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Except it wasn't on the freeway. It was getting on the freeway. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it was enough to total my car. They're totaling my car. I've never been through this. I don't know what to make of it. I love my rig. I worked hard for my rig. It's my baby. And they're just going to total her? What am I going to do? Do you guys name your cars? I used to do that. I don't do it anymore. But I don't want to be in the market for a new car, but I do know that I'll hit up EDH Motors. I'll hit them up. I will let them handle the process, but that hit me in the gut when I got that call this morning. Nonetheless, though, Jerry makes up for it. A lot to talk about. Kings National TV, fool's gold, or is this 24 karat? Are they finding something? We'll know tonight because this is a massive, massive game for the Denver Nuggets. Coming off of the Michael Malone firing and just playoff implications altogether. And last night, what a night in the NBA. We'll recap it here in a few minutes. We've got you covered all night. No Jerry Reynolds. because he is on the broadcast, the local broadcast, not the national, the local broadcast. But Grant and I will take you through pregame, halftime, postgame. But first, Kings Court right here on a Wednesday. Thanks for being here. Court's in session.
Late nights on the screen, hey, it's Grant and Ryan. We bleed purple, talking hoops, never lying. Sacramento Kings, we rise and we fall. If you don't like that, then you don't know ball. Jerry sitting with the stories of the game, spilling all the truth, driving legends insane. From the Cow Palace days to Arco's roar, this town's heart beats on the hardwood floor. If you don't like that, turn away now. Kings.
How about that? Mr. Jerry Reynolds on the call tonight for the Kings and the Nuggets. The Kings clinched a play-in spot, not a playoff spot, a play-in spot right now in the 9-hole, looking to stay in the 9-hole. Dallas takes on the Lakers, which we will talk about in a second. Luka's return to to Dallas. It's so weird to think about what that atmosphere is going to be like if you are a Dallas Maverick. Your building's going to be rooting against you tonight. It's going to be bonkers. I mean, same fans that were carrying coffins down to the American Airlines Center or Arena, whatever they call it down there now. That'll be something to watch for. Luka also in the news for last night as well, which we will go over. But Kings Nuggets tonight, let's go through the rundown. Big game, no Malik Monk. We'll get through who's in, who's out in a second. We've got some audio from Shoot Around that we will digest as well in the coming segments. We already hit it, but Jerry Reynolds. Wait, no, not that Jerry Reynolds. This
Holy
Jerry
moly,
Reynolds.
Jimbo.
Mr. Jerry Reynolds, our favorite. That's why I put out this morning. I'm like, acknowledge our tribal chief. Just do it. Just acknowledge him. It's great to have him back for a night in the broadcast. Something a lot of you have been asking for. Again, good for Katie. She gets a night off. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I think she was on the radio. You can seek that out, but hope all is well. As we said, Kings locked up a play-in spot because Phoenix lost last night. Phoenix got killed last night. So what is it going to be? 9 seed or 10 seed? We will know as we get closer to it. Jason Anderson throwing out who's in, who's out. Jamal Murray is doubtful for this one. That changes everything for Denver. But there is one X factor that has quietly been killing the Kings. Like just right in front of our faces, and we're not recognizing it. Quietly killing the Kings the last few years, and especially since they've been back in Denver. We'll go over that. As you know, yesterday, Terrence Davis signed to the Kings. There is the official release. It doesn't, again, affect really anything to me. I think the process of them going back to a familiar well that hasn't been in the NBA for the last 2 years. You guys asked me yesterday, and you're like, Rhino, how does that work? Can you just sign any G League player? And I started thinking about it. I dived back into it. Really interesting note here. Anybody who is playing in the G League, unless you are a two-way player or you are on assignment from a team. So the Kings, they sent Devin Carter on assignment. But excluding the two ways and anybody on assignment, everybody in the G League is not actually under contract with the individual teams. They're under contract with the NBA, or they're under contract with the G League, meaning they're all free agents to any team. So the Kings had their pool to choose from if they wanted to go G League, but they went with Terrence Davis, which, okay, doesn't move the needle. It is what it is. It's more the process of the move that bugged me. And the bigger thing that came from it, there was a comment on yesterday's show about this, was, man, you're making a big deal about the Terrence Davis thing. No, it's the other way. It's about Malik Monk. What are they not telling us? Yes, he's out tonight with his calf, but if you're signing Terrence Davis, then does that mean we should think Malik's going to miss significant time, the regular season? the rest of the season, play in and playoffs? What's that mean? We're not getting a ton of answers quite yet. Hopefully, we will get some of those in the coming days. Terrence Davis, a King. Stockton Kings last night. Damn, did they put up a valiant effort in Osceola. They did come up short, 129-118. It was tied at halftime. Got to tell you, they were playing okay considering they had to. It was NBA travel for guys that aren't NBA players. Now, Stockton has 7 guys that have been in the NBA or played on an NBA team at one time or another. But to play on Sunday, hop on a bird on Monday, play Tuesday on the other side of the country, big ask. And they brought it for a half. It just caught up to them. They weren't getting to the 50-50 balls. They weren't offensive rebounding like they usually do. And Jalen Slauson, ex-Stockton King, poured in, I think it was 14 or 15 that kind of put the nail in the coffin for them. So we'll talk some more about that as well. Jaylen Wells, terrifying fall last night. Local product, by the way, Jaylen Wells. You probably saw it. We'll talk about it. He's been discharged from the hospital, thank goodness, only with a broken wrist. Out indefinitely for Memphis, something that they did not need. The question that I want to ask is, on a play like that, sure, the wrist will probably heal, the bruises will heal, but what about the mental side? I mean, dudes that big don't lose control of their body like that often, and I've got to think you might be a little gun shy going forward after a fall like that. But most importantly, glad he's okay. Luka ejected last night. Bunch of controversy around that. We'll get to it. I told you, so much news today going on. The return of Luka. Zion Williamson had another blowout. I wish it was this kind of blowout that we were talking about. Unfortunately, it is not of that nature. It's more of this nature. Man, dude needs to get it together. Probably heard about that. Zach Hampel, baseball dude. You know, like literally the baseball guy that's got the 10,347 straight attended MLB games with a foul ball. He interfered last night. We'll talk about him as well. He's back in the news cycle. And all of you on a game day, get up in here. We'll get to your comments in a second. We will do your check-ins. Thanks for being here. Again, we're here all night. This is the first of 4 shows coming up for you. And if you're just joining us, Jerry Reynolds on the broadcast tonight. Looking forward to it. Can't wait for it. But I called you out. Said I want to hear from you today. Tay took the notice, and I like it. What's up, Tay?
Hey, Rhino. First of all, best wishes to the accident. I know it's always a headache when you get into those things, so hope it all works out for you.
Thanks, man. It's, you know what? It's karma. So there was this running joke in our house because I mean, I've not been a saint driving. I've had a ticket here and there, but I've been lucky enough never to really be in a real accident, right? I've been in like a parking lot, like bump, and you don't really exchange information. But my wife has totaled like 2 or 3 cars. And
Oh
so
no.
like throughout her lifetime. Sorry, sweetheart. And I always had that one up there where we could joke. If she tried to say anything about the way I was driving, I could just shoot that eye over at her. And yeah, I have lost my leverage there. And more importantly, I lost my car.
Yeah,
Damn, I
that's
love
always
my
painful.
car. It's paid off too.
Wow. Yeah,
Anyways,
that's always the worst.
yeah. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, so with 4 games to go in the regular season, it's crazy how exciting the last couple games are for specifically for the Western Conference teams. I mean, besides from Thunder and Rockets, 6 teams seeded number 3 through 8 are all still playing for something because
Yeah.
again, the seeding's not set yet. So I part of me thinks personally I don't like the play-in format because if you look at the 8 seed Timberwolves, they are 7 games above the Kings, and 7 games is significant. And I think 82 games is a great enough sample size to determine who goes to the playoffs. But I think one good thing maybe from the play-in is if there was no play-in, I think you might see some teams trying to lose some games on purpose to try to avoid, bad first round matchups.
Yeah.
But because of the play-in, I think all the teams besides the Rockets and Thunder are still playing because they don't want to risk falling into 7 and 8 and potentially not go to the playoffs. So
Right. Right.
as much as I don't like the play-in format, I think it adds a lot of excitement and also potentially gives the 9 and 10 seed teams to still play for at the end of the season. But I believe the original intention was to discourage teams from tanking, but the teams that are going to tank are still going to tank. And more often than not, the 9th and 10th seed teams are still going to be in the purgatory whether they make the playoffs and get swept in the first round, or just by their records, they're not going to get the first top 5 picks from percentage wise. I personally, I wish they go back to the original play-in format back in 2020. It's been a while, and not many people might remember this, but the very first year the teams finishing 8th and 9th in each conference competed for the final playoff seed, but only if they finished within the 4 games of each other.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
great point, Tay.
I think that is a more fair format across the league,
Yeah.
and thereby you don't also punish the 7th seed team. But again, I think there's so much excitement, right now across the league in the Western Conference. So, you know, I
But
think
the
I think it's a
but
double-edged
Tay,
sword.
yeah, but Tay, the majority of the excitement is not really with the play-in. It's what's happening above, and I know you kind of laid that out. I- you have that much of a separation. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm a little
Yeah.
bent if I end up in the play-in. I've got 8 games in the loss column to the 9 seed or the 10 seed, and I might have to go through one of you. And I know the other side of that argument is you're the 7 seed. You should be able to beat that team. But I'm kind of the opinion teams are going to do what they're going to do at this point, whether there's a play-in place or not. Take the best 8 teams from each league and just do it regular. I guess I'm tired of the gimmicks for the most part. And if you could, rank them like by record. Forget conferences. And I know everybody says travel is the opposition. You want to boost ratings? Do it that way. That will boost ratings. If you have a merger of the East and the West for the playoffs and it's 1 through 16, it's now an NBA in-season tournament. That's the playoffs basically.
Yeah, I think the whole travel thing, I also don't understand because even within the Western Conference, for instance, I'm just throwing out a couple teams. If Lakers have to play Minnesota, they have to travel halfway across the country, and you know that's just as far as say someone like Minnesota playing Indiana in the East. That's like closer travel. So the whole travel thing, I don't think it makes sense. But I don't know if we will ever see the day where we go to the 16 best 16 teams format. So that being said, I think the first round matchup, I'm not too worried. I think Dallas. I know they have length with Gafford, Davis, and Lively up front, but I don't see where they're gonna get the scoring punch without Kyrie. Um, and Davis, he can I don't know if he could do it all by himself. I'm just more worried about the 7th and 8th matchup. Um, that being said, without Malik Monk, do you think we might be good for at least these two playing games because there's less cooks in the kitchen and maybe we could ride the momentum, that we've been having with Levine and DeRozan?
You know what? It's gonna fall the way that I see it is it's gonna fall between Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. And what I mean by that is it going to be a Zach LaVine pace or is it going to be a DeMar DeRozan pace?
Mm,
Because Malik's kind of the one that is the energy, the spark, the yin to the King's yang at times. And if it's more of a Zack LaVine pace, like what we saw the last couple of games, then I think the Kings could be okay. And I don't even want to talk about the play, and I just want to talk about getting through the last 3 games of the season, getting through tonight, because
Yeah, of
this
course.
is going to be a monstrous game for Denver. It's a big game for the Kings too. But if it's more that DeRozan pace, where, as Peter says, and it's really good, Terrence Davis knows the offensive system. There is none. If it turns into dribble to the elbow, wait for the defense to come to you, try to draw a foul, or shoot the ball with like 3 seconds on the shot clock, then I don't like the Kings' chances. So that's why I'm really interested to see what they do tonight without him.
Yeah, and Malik Monk hasn't been playing particularly well even before his injury, but no doubt, regardless, that he is the energy to the team, like you
Yep,
mentioned.
for sure. Hey, Tay, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for kicking us off. Good job, Tay, kicking us off here on a game day Wednesday. Jerry Reynolds calling the game tonight. Make sure you check out the local broadcast. Oh, would that be just awful, by the way, if they blacked it out? I don't think they do. Only TNT does that. I know that the Kings don't do a broadcast if TNT has the game. They do one if ESPN has the game. So, all right, let's check in with all of you. I have no idea what Dennis is talking about. Tay is on point. Tay getting some love. We need to slow Joker down. Yeah, well, Sabonis didn't do a great job of that last game. But remember the last time these two teams met, and I have the score up for you. That game was the second night of a back-to-back for the Kings. That was a brutal one. And I believe it was the McDermott game where Doug came in and made the score closer than what it actually was. I think Sabonis will do a better job tonight, but that's the wild card. There's 2 wild cards in this. Is it the aggressive version of Jokic? Because whether you realize it or not, like if you don't actually watch Jokic play and you just pay attention to the box scores, he is very passive a lot of the game. And then he'll be assertive when he needs to be. This is a situation where he needs to be assertive. And you don't usually see that for 48 minutes. And when I say passive, that means he ain't doing his thing. He is, but it's within the flow of the offense. So how is that going to change? Can the Kings, is this a game where, look, you know who did a great job on Jokic last game was Jake LaRavia. And you don't have Jake LaRavia, I believe, is still out for tonight. So that's a changer as well. So anyways, Jokic, always the key to what they doing. We going to need a TD national a TD. If the Kings need a Terrence Davis national television performance, like you're talking about, simply Adrian, Adrian, like you're talking about from 3 years ago against the Rockets, then the Kings are in trouble. They are in big trouble. Won't your insurance pay for a new car if yours was totaled? Well, they give you the market value of your car. So and I had just put some significant money into it. And the market value is nice, but it's not what it would be worth if I took it to EDH Motors. So it's what insurance does, unless you carry that extra insurance that gives you like up to that top dollar. Somebody, it was like a 50-50 thing. They were in my blind spot and I didn't see them, and they were kind of in the wrong too. So it wasn't that bad. That's why it was a very surprising thing. And now it's the classic. All right, is it time for electric? Because that conversation happened before I got this car, and I decided to stay with gas. But after I filled up at $6.99 a gallon with premium gas a couple of days ago, that's maybe got me a little shook. That has me thinking, all right, maybe it's time to make that jump. So you might be able to sway me. Give me some ideas. You could sway me. not opposed to it. You want me to get one of those egg-shaped Fords from back in the 1990s? Might be down with that. Who knows? Alex tapping in. It's to do with her husband's reality show. She's supporting it in some capacity. It was reported this morning. Stoked for Jerry. Oh, you're talking about Zion? Does Zion have a reality show going that I don't know about? Besides his actual basketball career? Is that the reality show that we're talking about? He's had problems with women, excuse me. Now, he hasn't had problems as in domestic violence. I want to draw that line very clearly because that's a problem in sports and society these days. But the amount of women he's had some issues with. And I guess here's the thing. This girl, this woman, excuse me, she just walks right into the Zion compound. Am I to believe that she can just walk right into the Zion compound and she's a stalker? Come on. Like, she had a set of keys. Zion ain't keeping his door open. Like, you gotta figure that stuff out, man. You remember the report that came out before the season? The adult dancer that came out and really stuck it to Zion in the offseason. And now this, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But everybody digging that Jerry is back tonight. Yeah, digging it too. Super excited for Jerry to be back in the saddle, at least for one night. Rhino, you car shopping? I'm your guy. I love car shopping. Who likes car shopping? You really like car shopping, Dennis? See, like when I go car shopping, it's very direct. I know what I want. There is no negotiation. That's what I want. This is how I'm paying. Done. Like, done. I don't want to sit through if you want that color, it's an additional $500. Coming up to my son, hey, kiddo, can I make you a balloon animal and get you a hot chocolate? My finance manager is taking care of your counteroffer rate. I hate that stuff. I don't enjoy that. Now, if you like walking through the aisles and looking at cars, then we can meet halfway there. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of that process. In fact, when my wife bought her car, she ended up leaving an Elk Grove dealership and went to a Lodi dealership because she couldn't stand the gentleman that was doing the dance. Ed, bent frame total. It's a back quarter panel. That's what's crazy about it. You all know, you've been there. Like, if you love what you drive, you're proud of what you drive, it's paid off, you don't have a car note, it's just a good feeling. It's a great feeling. I love it. And now it's not going to be that way. It stinks. And I really, really liked that car, minus having to put the 91 gas into it. So, and it was 4-wheel drive too for a sedan. Come on, man. It was a great family car. Dang. Not cool. Yes, we need Jerry and Grant. Well, hey, Aaron, just be happy that you're getting Jerry tonight. That's what I would say. You're getting half of them back. Get a Honda CRV. Okay. We've got Honda CRV on the board. Anybody else want to throw their ideas out there? It happened a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. At least I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Anyways, Kings, Nugs tonight. The Kings had shoot around earlier this morning. Got some audio from shoot around. First, Domantas Sabonis.
How do you look back at just the 3-3 trip for you guys?
We obviously ended up on a great note, but we obviously could have done a better job as well. But, things are clicking now, so we just want to keep riding the wave.
Are you pretty much, you get into the play-in tournament now, just what you could?
Mm-hmm.
All right. getting in the playing tournament now, you guys kind of have that locked up. Just what's kind of mindset? Does it change at all? over this next week?
We just want to play.
That's kind of funny. I didn't listen to this before. I'm not messing with it. Sean's having some issues there. Let's see if it resolves.
Home, we want to play home in front of our fans. Give them one more game at least, and the goal is to win and carry on going forward.
Do you feel like anything can happen at this point?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we need 1 or 2 more games, to get that 9th seed, and it starts with tonight.
How important is this to play well the last 3 games at home to have that momentum in the next week?
It's big. It's big. Everyone's feeling better, good. So we just got to keep riding this way, like I said before. And we play tough teams. Everyone's fighting for something.
Have you ever seen the West this competitive heading into the final?
It was like that last year, but this year it's like from top to bottom. So yeah.
Domas, I'm coming from Denver, where they just fired Michael Malone. You guys went through that earlier this season. What are some of the difficulties that come with a coaching change in the middle of the season like that?
Just getting used to, obviously the first couple weeks or days are a bit different, we've been through that. They've been through that, just having to Memphis. So the players just got to find a way to go out there and compete.
Is it hard to use that as a spark and as motivation to play better than what you were that led to the firing?
For us or for?
Yeah, just in general.
I guess, everyone has their own reasons, to go out there and play hard, and some people do it for love of the game.
Do you expect Denver to play with an inspired effort tonight?
I mean, there's things going on that if they lose, they can go in the play-in. So I think we all love this game, so I feel like everyone wants to make the playoffs and win a championship. So I think that's enough said, no matter what else is going on.
As a fan of the league yourself, you see 2 teams that are upper echelon playoff teams, and they bounce their head coach a week, 2 weeks before the season ends. Just you ever see anything like that?
No, I've never seen anything like that. No.
Yeah, what do you make of it? Just the demands of the NBA these days?
I guess, yeah. I don't even know what to say. To me, I feel like everyone was in shock.
Cool. Thanks.
So that was Domas and a little bit of feedback with the mics. Focused on tonight. Appreciate that. I spoke about it yesterday. I do think that what we're seeing right now in the NBA is going to pick up. In fact, Jerry gave me a call yesterday evening, and we were talking about the Malone firing, and we are talking about some other miscellaneous stuff, and I kind of laid it out for him too. Just that with this new CBA, that the NBA is going to be on a much shorter timeline, or franchises, I think, are going to be on much shorter timelines to perform. There's going to be less tolerance for having sample sizes. If it doesn't work, move on. Because you're seeing these big trades that are happening all the time now, which I'm not opposed to. I'm not. The coaches being fired, 2 coaches that were firmly in the playoffs, one winning a championship. I've seen the stat that's floating around, like Steve Kerr is the only coach right now that's left in the league that's won a championship in the last 10 years. I think it's something like that. The coaches is bizarre to me, but I think you're going to continue to see, and every situation is going to be different. Taylor Jenkins is different from Michael Malone. We don't know the details with both of those, but I think we're going to see this strain between ownership, management, and coaching that we have not seen before because of this new CBA. Owners aren't going to want to go into the luxury tax because of how expensive it is now, the penalties. Now, your GMs, they're not going to want to have penalties either when it comes to limiting their draft picks. It comes to mid-level exceptions, signing players on the buyout market. They don't want their hands handcuffed either. And they also want to be able to have flexibility during the season. Because if you enter the season a certain way and you're in an apron, you're in the apron for the year. You're not getting out of the apron. I don't know what the date is, but there is a date. There's a cutoff for that. So you're going to have GMs trying to get coaches to do more with less. Try to find more in players that might not be the desired player for the coach. And it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to see big players on the move more frequently, for sure. I think this was just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that. But the coaches, crazy, nuts. Michael Malone's going to have his choice of jobs. Wherever Michael Malone wants to go, Michael Malone will go. Yes, we have EDH as a sponsor, El Dorado Hills Motors. But the problem with that is I have to say, yo, EDH guys, first off, thanks for sponsoring the show. But second, this is the rig that I'm looking for. Can you go get it? You see, I got to have a rig in mind. You can't go to them and be like, hey, what should I get? You can't do that. You got to have a rig in mind. Yeah, not an X, but that brand is in play. Yeah, it's in play. It is, unfortunately. But not unfortunately. I had wanted one for a while, but I backed off. I'm glad I backed off because they dropped the prices. We talked about that last week on this show. That really pissed some people off. Justin, those things have some value. I have some friends that have sought those out. Those geo trackers, those are cool. A Prius, I guess you're going. We already have a Prius. So we're good on that. A 1972 Malibu coupe. I don't even know what that looks like. Yeah, I don't think I would want. I don't want a car like that. I'm sorry, Dennis. And I know I'm coming from a place with my car where repairs are expensive, but I don't want an old car like that. Unless it's like a 65 Mustang. But that's not an everydayer. That's like one of those you bust out on the weekends. And by the way, if I was ever to get one of those cars, no, I am not joining your club where we meet up at the local Denny's once a month and bring our cars together. That ain't my thing either. So Prius getting a lot of love in the chat. Prius getting a lot of love in the chat. Hybrid, better than EV. I will tell you this. If it's EV, I am not putting the carpool stickers on it. Those cars are too nice to put a sticker on it. It's not happening. I don't know why people do that. I'll not take the carpool gladly and keep the sticker off of that car. Jose, Toyota guy. My wife is a Toyota guy. Toyota gal, excuse me. So you know she's in my ear. She's like, Prius, yo. No, not big. I don't want anything too big. Don't really want an SUV unless it's a smaller SUV. Kia Sportage, plug-in hybrid. Okay, getting some run there. Back to the Kings. Chris, hey, Ryan, I wish the Kings could play capture the flag. Yeah, he's going to be a heck of a player. That moment, though, in the Final Four, he was a little shook. I tweeted it out. He was a little shook on that last possession. And he's a guy that's been around some high-level NBA players for a long time. He trained with Team USA this summer, but the Kings are not getting Cooper Flag. Be great if you could get Cooper Flag, but it's not happening. Forerunner getting some love. Forerunners are expensive last time I checked. Definitely don't want a Hummer, Adam. Definitely not a Hummer. And not coming from you in that suggestion. Don't go with that brand unless it's long range. All right. Well, we'll see. Anyways, keep your suggestions coming. I teased you and I said there is one guy that has been silently killing the Kings for the last few. Dude, I ain't joining no clubs. None. That's not what I do. See, like, I don't know how all of you are, but for me, and maybe this is exclusive to me, my car is an escape. Like if I'm in that car, it's my time. You are on my time. I'm listening to what I want to listen to, and I'm talking about if I'm alone. If I'm with my family, it's different. But like, it's my escape. Like, I want it to be nice. I want to enjoy that time. It's Rhino time. And so I don't need to be a part of a club. Club of one right here. That's all I need. I don't need to show my car off or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to tell you who is killing the Kings, but we're going to go to this guy first. Dennis, what's up, dude?
Yo, Rhino.
How you doing, brother?
I'm ready. I'm getting ready for this game. I'm excited. I'm looking for our fourth win in a row and keep this streak going. So
you think it's real, or do you think it's fool's gold? It's 3-game streak.
No, I mean, these guys are coming together. I mean, if you lose to Washington, I mean, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, gosh, what am I doing wrong here? I mean, that game was awful. I mean, it was just awful. But sometimes you got to go through the real lows to get to those real highs. And we've been seeing the real highs lately. So let's keep it going.
All right, for sure. Appreciate it. You excited about Jerry tonight?
Oh, come on, Rhino. We all love Jerry. I mean, that's you say one game, I say no. I say it's going to be more. But
holy moly, Zimbabwe!
I'm optimistic. I'm the Kings optimistic fan over here.
I know. I know. Hey, you just enjoy that game. I hope people don't get. I hope people don't like look past this game, like or focus
demand more.
Well, no, and not even that. Like, just enjoy the moment of having Jerry back in that seat.
Sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure they will.
So, what's your prediction for tonight?
I'm hoping Big Three gives us 100 points tonight. We had 92, followed up by 99. Let's go for over 100 tonight.
All right, for sure. I think that's kind of a key. And by the way, those that don't realize, Denver has been struggling like Joe Namath coming into this one. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So they're vulnerable, and that's because they haven't had Jamal Murray for a lot of it. So, yeah. All right. Under 100. I like it for Denver. Over 100 for the Kings. I think the key, though, Dennis, is it a Zack LaVine pace or is it a DeMar DeRozan pace? It's got to be Zack LaVine in my book.
100%. I mean, he just opens everything up for us, and it's when he gets on that heater, it's wow. Yeah, it's like something you've never seen from a Kings player before because you haven't. He's broken all these records already this year, and if he keeps this up, he's going to continue breaking records for us. And it's amazing, and that's the why I want him on the team, Rhino.
Are you talking about records for payroll? What records are you talking about,
Those
Dennis?
7 made 3-pointers, those 8 made 3-pointers back to back. Like we've never seen a Kings player do that before.
What about Keegan Murray? He did it.
He did 12 in one game, correct? But like to do it 7 and 8 back to back, though, that's
right.
We've never seen a Kings player do that before.
All right. I hope his legs are there. I do. I hope all their legs are there. This is traditionally a tough game. You're coming off of an East Coast road trip and you got one day off. So the fact that it's on national TV, hopefully that helps. But I'm with you. I want to see him succeed. I don't want the Kings not to succeed.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, how many times have I joined your show and you said at the end of the show, stay the hell away from Zack LaVine?
Yes. You know why?
And you know what, Kings fans? Check it out. I'm still here.
Dennis.
Ryan and I didn't agree on anything, but it didn't disrupt our flow and love for the team. It did not disrupt anything because we love this team so much.
Correct. But here's the thing. When I was saying that, that's when De'Aaron Fox was still on the team.
I'm not saying that, Rhino.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear.
No, I know. No, you had your reasons. The money, the injuries, the time not, being on the court. I get all that. Right? But what I saw is what we saw the last couple of games. And like you said, it is 2 games. It has to continuously be there for us.
I agree. All right, dude. Appreciate you. Thanks.
And like I said, I love car shopping, so I'm your guy.
Yeah,
You know.
what's your deal with that, man? What do you love about?
I love helping people get into a car like they want or they need. You know, I'm that guy. I like if you're going to a salesman and he's haggling you, I'll be that in between. Like, what do you think? And I'll be like, no, let's go outside. And then when we go outside, they're running after you. Hey, let's do this. Let's do this. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been down that road before. I bought I don't know how many numerous cars off dealerships and helped I don't know how many numerous people do dealerships. So I know.
Okay, so what kind of car are you putting me in then?
The
Actually, hold on.
The Wire X. The Wire X.
You're putting me in
I
the
want to
Wire.
get you something a little faster, something a little bit, because you're family man. So, more little luxury. I mean, not something like, overly big, but, like you said, it's a crossover between, that SUV and sedan. That's all it is.
What would you put me in right now?
Right now?
What do you think's totaled? What do you think I drive?
I'm gonna say you're a Honda guy.
I'm a Honda guy. Okay.
Say you're a Honda guy.
Dennis is saying I'm a Honda guy.
Yeah. All right. Put that in there.
We'll see what everybody else says. All right. Later, brother. Dennis tagged me as a Honda guy. Interesting. Well, Dennis, you actually producer behind the glass, the non-existent glass. Is Dennis right? Am I a Honda dude? Let's go to the judges, Dennis. Is Rhino a Honda dude? Survey says, yeah. Oh, they're thinking about it. Weird. Is he right? Dennis, my man. Dennis the Menace. I said 91 gas. That gave you a clue. You don't put 91 in Hondas, I don't think. Anybody that's saying Prius, that's true. We are a half Prius family. Okay, we're gonna mix this car talk in with basketball as well. Manuel is like, every man needs to have a truck. The first car I ever wanted was a Toyota Tacoma. I still love those trucks, like the smaller ones. I don't want one right now, but he's saying every man should have a truck. You're surprised. Okay, Progressive. I don't like his contract. I do not like that. I'm not going to be shy about it. But I've been pretty open about it. If you're going to have Zack LaVine, you got to let Zack LaVine. Don't ask him to be a point guard. Don't ask him to be a creator. You just let him score. And the Kings have been asking, I think, a little bit too much of him. And let's be quite honest, like Zack LaVine has always been the center of attention. He's been the prom king, the prom queen. Everything revolves around Zack LaVine. And in this time in Sacramento, that's not how it's been. And so I think that's been a little bit of a different thing for him. And then you talk about moving across the country, getting settled in. He just had another child. Life. Who knows? Maybe he's trying to buy a car too and working with EDH Motors. So there's a lot of different things that go into it. But those last two games, that was Zack LaVine. That looked like Zack LaVine from Chicago. Can he replicate it? And more importantly, can Doug Christie put something in, or at least arrange for the spacing on the floor to be correct for Zack to be able to do what he does? So I don't mind his aggression, by the way. I like that he goes to the hoop, Progressive. I just like to see him try to dunk the ball a little bit more. Few too many layups. That's it. The contract, though, you're not going to move me off. I do not like the contract. It's brutal. There's a reason nobody in the NBA wanted it. And it's not a brutal contract if it's SGA, if it's one of those guys. But when it's somebody that's had the injury concerns that Zack's had, it's a really tough contract. So it's a more of a liability than it is an asset. Because you're not going to find another team that's going to pay you market value for it. You would take a haircut on that contract. Same as I said, I think you might potentially could take a haircut on a Domantas Sabonis trade. depending on the team. I know, not a popular take. Grant and I don't agree on that, but that's okay. That's why we have shows like this, and that's why we are all our own people and have our own opinions. Now, as for the guy that has been trashing the Kings as of late, any guesses whose numbers those are? He will be playing tonight. You can probably guess based off of the teams he's played for. Russell Westbrook has been a problem for the Kings as of late. Look at that. Dating back to his time with the Clippers, 19.8 in games versus the Kings, 21.4, 11.3, and more importantly, this season, 20.3 against the Kings per game. Russell Westbrook has been able to get anywhere he wants to go on the court. Kind of like John Collins does when the Kings play Utah. He has been doing that when the Kings have played the Nuggets 3 times this season, which are all 3 losses. So one of the keys for me tonight, especially with Jamal Murray out, is you got to get a handle on Russ. You cannot let Russ cook. You just can't do it. And he is playing for his age. He is playing at an incredible level. Like, I didn't think you could get Russ to buy into a role, buy into a team concept. He's there and he's doing it really, really well. So respect to Russ on that. He does not look his age, or at least he has not looked his age the last 3 meetings against the Kings, and the numbers show. He has just killed the Kings his entire career. And I get some of those were MVP years, so you write that off at the Kings not being very good, but 20.3 in 3 meetings this year, I don't like that. So the Kings are going to have to find an answer for him, or else Russ is going to burn it down tonight on national TV. So that's one matchup that I am definitely looking at. Keon Ellis, shoot around earlier today, talked to the media. Here's what he had to say.
3-3 trip for you guys. Obviously, you ended up in a good spot.
Yeah, definitely ended off the way we wanted to, but
oh, and by the way, hands down, Keon has the best ums in the NBA. Hands down the best.
Definitely could have been better on the trip, but I mean, kind of have to put that behind us now and just kind of roll off of the momentum that we have going from the last couple of wins that we've grabbed. So, but definitely the energy and everything that we've been playing with the last couple of games, definitely good for us.
To have that momentum.
That's terrible.
Even have characteristics of being a team that's kind of been Jekyll and Hyde at times. Does it give you confidence as you close this thing out, like that you're moving the right way and almost you'd be prepared for anything?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, this is an important part of the season, especially where we're kind of lined up at, and also where everyone else is lined up at. So we know we're getting teams' best shots right now, and we still have things that we have to play for as well. So definitely something good to kind of be with us at the moment.
How are you able to manage the right hand right now?
I mean, it just is what it is. So just kind of got to go out there and, you know, still play my game. You know, I can't really try to limit myself.
Did it happen?
Both. Both. I'd be lying to you. It actually is personal joy that comes with a paycheck. I love doing this. It's what I've always wanted to do. I always had a lot of people pushing me this way, but I resisted. But I get what they're saying. Look, here's the line that you got to realize. There is I'm sorry, my list of to-dos that I'm working on is excluding "you've got to understand." I don't like using that phrase. I'm trying to cut it out. So apologize for that. The credential dance is such a delicate dance because the Kings giveth and the Kings taketh. There's a reason why there's not always hard-hitting questions in the media room, and there is an etiquette. And I'm not acting like I know the etiquette, but I do know there is an etiquette to how you ask questions, how they're phrased, etc., etc. Grant talks about this line that he had to dance all the time between taking all of your phone calls and also being an employee of the team and making sure that his integrity was never sacrificed. And so some people will try to draw that line and say, hey, I'm not, we don't get paid to talk about Kings basketball. So they don't seem like homers. I mean, there's definitely, you can tell around here on this station. And by the way, if I had my credential, it wouldn't be any different. I would do the exact same thing I'm doing. It's probably why I don't have a credential. But we kind of call it as it is. We say what we see. We're honest. We're blunt. We call the Kings out where they need to be called out, and that doesn't happen everywhere. We don't kiss the Kings' butts. And what's funny is sometimes that gets you a little bit further than those with credentials that are playing the game because you're being real. It's worth listening to. They want to hear the feedback. So, but yes, it is personal joy that comes with a paycheck. We are building a brand here. That is what we are trying to do. Been lucky enough to be able to build this out to where there is a cool community that comes together Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 2:00. And to be able to do this 4 days a week, usually we have a round table today, so there's no King's Court, but no round table because Jerry is on the call tonight. Has been a pleasure. And we're going to keep this thing going and growing. So that includes sponsors and all the numbers, all the analytics are exactly where they need to be. And that's why a big thumbs up from you guys, subscription. And the other thing we've tried to do really well, I think we've done really well here, is we have not paywalled the heck out of this thing where other channels that I respect, friends that do this, that will come on this show from time to time, that are professionals, you know, you got to pay to get a comment up on their things. You got to have a premium to get access to us. That's not how we roll. We'll bring you up if you call the show. You know, you don't have to have a premium account. Now, is it going to be like that forever? I don't know. I'll be real with you. That could change, but we will never, ever go way over to the other side where it's like that. It would at most be in the middle, but it is definitely both. So Keon Ellis again.
Oh, the dunk or the steal?
The steal.
Okay.
Or not even the steal. We switched and I like my hand just kind of got jammed in there. So yeah.
How about, I mean, you guys, here you are, get some little bit of momentum, but it seems like every day there's like a new name popping up on the injury report. You guys have been relatively healthy all season. Just how do you guys kind of manage some of these injuries as you close things out?
I mean, it's tough. You know, you definitely never want to see anyone injured on any team. So, but I mean, we all know that's kind of what happens in this league. You know, injuries are, you know, everyone kind of gets injured, and you know,
Acknowledge me.
You can't really tell when someone's going to get injured. So, you know, when guys go down, I mean, we like I said before, other teams aren't going to, you know, feel sorry for us. So it's kind of like a next man up mentality. So we all have to just bring it that much more. So yeah, it definitely sucks for us. You know, we're not 100%, and you know, they're big parts of our team. So definitely would love to have them, but I mean, we got to still go out and handle business.
Keon, how intense is this final week for you guys?
I think it's just as important as any other games that we've been having. I mean, we can't relax just because we've technically secured a spot, but I mean, you know, you still want to be playing great basketball, and the energy being high going into the playing games, and you know, these last couple of games. So definitely don't want to take a step back now.
Denver, sorry, go.
See, I'm coming from Denver. They just fired Michael Malone. You guys went through the coaching.
What is this? Free advertising? What are we doing here, Guru? We throw you a couple of plugs, and now you're just running your show in my chat, Guru? Is that what we're doing now? Has your show grown that big? Let me link it to you right now. We're taking calls. First 10 calls. Get NBA Guru t-shirts. We'll be doing a special raffle for the first NBA or college Guru t-shirt that's dropping soon. What's going on with you, Guru? You getting too big for your bridges? Am I gonna have to add you to the list?
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it.
What are we doing? Guru, have some respect. I'm just kidding. Go check Zack out. Love plugging other people that are trying to put out a good product and pay it forward. So good job, Zack.
Change mid-season already. How difficult is it as a player to deal with a coaching change in the middle of the season?
How difficult is it? I mean, it's definitely something different. I mean, when it happened here, it's definitely my first time going through it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm always a guy of just, kind of what's the next step. So, and I think we had a game the next day. So,
okay, of course they get paid. They're on radio, y'all. They're getting paychecks. They're saying they don't get paid by the Kings. That's what I took from that comment. I don't listen to their show, so I don't know.
You're like I kind of said on the injury thing, other teams don't really, kind of care about what your situation is. So, I mean, we still have to go out there and handle our business and put our best foot forward. So, I mean, it's the NBA, it's a business, things happen. So, I think you just have to realign your focus and handle what's the most important thing.
There's a lot of talk about how a change like this can provide a spark. That's what ownership for the Nuggets is saying. How hard is it to turn something so jarring like that into a positive and use it to play better than what you were that led to the firing in the first place?
I think you just all have to come together. I mean, there's no head coach over the whole scheme of things, and the kind of backbone of whatever your team is running. So you just kind of have to all go out there and play for one another, and just to try to handle business. I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, especially for them being at this late in the season. But I mean, they've kind of it's been a while. So what am I trying to say? It's been like the season's almost over, so they kind of know their foundation and everything. So I wouldn't say that it shouldn't be too hard, but I mean, it's definitely a little wrench in there. But I think that.
Good job, Athena. Well done. Well done. Jim Rome would appreciate that one. They do sometimes. Well done.
They've had enough of a season to where they should be all right.
What do you like about what you've seen from Zack over this stretch right now? It seems like
thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, brother.
At the right time.
I mean, that's Zack LaVine for you. So everything that he showed, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what everyone expected from him. But yeah, the tear that him and DeMar have been on lately, just crazy. I mean, it's just wild to see it out there, and that's just some high level basketball being played.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, appreciate it.
Definitely some high-level basketball being played the last two games. Kings on a 3-game winning streak. I see the guesses still coming in. Rhino going back to Stockton. Got the plug on tickets. Yeah, we're going to be giving away some tickets this week. Anybody want to go to the finals? Means you're going to have to miss the Clippers game because the Stockton Kings play. And by the way, that environment in Orlando, that was lame. Stockton is going to make Orlando look like a high school gym, the way they show out on Friday night. But we'll be giving away a couple of pairs of tickets to the finals. So make sure that you are tuned in to the channel the rest of the week. And yes, I will be down there on Friday. I have kind of built relationships within that organization because I've taken really big interest in that organization. I really like if there's a ton of stuff you don't like about the Kings organization, and I understand Stockton and Sacramento under one roof. there's a ton of stuff you don't like. There's just as much stuff to love over there with what they're doing with player development, the way things are ran, the system that they run. Love the job that Gabriel Harris has done. Seamlessly, literally had the NBA the G League Coach of the Year, Lindsey Harding, last year, who took the Stockton Kings to the Western Conference Finals. She leaves to go coach for the Lakers, brings in Quentin Crawford, and now the Stockton Kings are in the finals. When does that happen? And he's made some very bold, I think are bold trades. He knows Gabriel, in my opinion, understands how to put a basketball team together. He gets it. And Coach Q gets it as well. So I am a huge fan of what's going on down there, and I've taken an interest in it. I've spread a lot of information about what they're doing down there. I've been a big proponent of it. So yeah, I know people in the organization, but no, not credentialed. So it's not a big deal to me. That's why I said, again, sometimes it's better not to be. Mini Coopers, no. What does plush mean, by the way? Get me up to speed. I could go ask my 10-year-old. He'd probably tell me what plush means. Not a Mini Cooper, not a Charger, for those that are asking. The Chargers, I'm just not into them. I guess maybe they're growing on me a little bit. But have you? I was in a Dodge dealership. It must have been a year ago. It's probably a year ago. And the reason I was in the Dodge dealership is there's one buyer at the Elk Grove Auto Mall that buys for all the dealerships if you want to sell your car. And so I decided I wanted to get an idea of what they would give me for my car. And their office was in the Dodge dealership. And one of those Chargers, it must have been like the souped up version, $130K, yo. I've got a hard time thinking about $130K for a Dodge. That's nuts. Not a Subaru guy. No, not a Subaru guy. You guys can keep guessing. Not a Subaru guy. You know what? I pride myself on that. I do. I pride myself on that. Yeah, Quentin, he's silky smooth. He is silky smooth. And runs a tight ship. The guys know their roles, know their rotations. In the coaching staff, they're just, it's like they're extensions of each other. They're all completely on the same page. Okay, now you're getting warm. You have the make. You don't have the model, though. You have gotten warm now. You are in the ballpark. Plush means comfortable and soft. Okay. Something that was not comfortable and soft last night. Jaylen Wells, one of the scarier falls that I have seen this season in the NBA, maybe in all my time of watching basketball. In fact, I tapped into Grant's open forum show last night, and Grant was texting back and forth with Eric Hasseltine, who is the radio play-by-play guy for the Memphis Grizzlies. He said it was the scariest fall he had seen in 25 years of doing games. Obviously can't play it here because of rights, but here was the audio of the fall.
Miles on the year. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. Jaylen Wells. Oh, boy.
The reason I kept it playing is because the mic that is near the rim that catches all those in-arena swishes, that's why it's amplified, it caught all of the players. Jaylen Wells was out cold. I mean, he was out cold. You just got to go watch it. And I would understand why you don't want to go watch it either. How he ended up escaping with what they're saying is a broken wrist is a miracle. It was a really, really scary moment last night for a kid that has had a heck of a basketball season. He is the reason Jake LaRavia became available. He played Jake LaRavia out of Memphis. And he's a second-round pick, homegrown here in Sacramento, Folsom High School. His dad put out a tweet last night saying that he was awake and asking about the score. So that's all good. I hope that the mental side of this does not affect him going forward. Sounds like he's going to be able to heal from the injuries. He will not be back probably for a significant amount of time for Memphis with that broken wrist. And scary stuff. It is a reminder. And by the way, it was ruled a flagrant 2 foul. I did not think it was a particularly dirty play. It's just sometimes like anybody, BJ, Dennis, you guys were down by the court the other nights in Stockton with me. These guys, and that's Stockton. That's not even the NBA. Any of you that have sat close to the hoop for a Kings game, these are big dudes. And you don't realize how high they jump, how quickly they elevate, and just how freaky athletic they are. So seeing Jaylen Wells last night, you kind of assume these guys are cats. They're always going to land on their feet. No. And usually when they don't, it ends like this, because more times than not, you think you're going to be able to hang on to the rim. And last night, Jaylen's hand slipped off the rim. So glad he seems to be okay. Very, very scary moment in that game. We're going to talk about Luka's moment yesterday as well. He's going to have a moment tonight returning to Dallas for the first time. That is going to be a weird atmosphere for sure. Got to think that Nico Harrison and Mavericks ownership are planning to be in some underground bunker for that game. Maybe not even a bunker that's near the arena. I doubt they show their faces, but we'll see. Alex, what's up, dude?
What's going on right now? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Real quick, I want to apologize to PK and BJ. I don't have a headband on today. They've been saying that stuff in the comments, so sorry, no headband today.
Okay.
But we should collaborate for a King's Court headband. I wear them for workouts. I don't like gel getting in my eyes from my hair, so that's the main reason. But
all right.
Anyway, as far as your car stuff, get a Mustang. Right now, you're 40. Go through your midlife crisis. Get a Mustang.
Oh, what did you say? How old am I?
You're 40, bro. Go ahead, play it.
Okay, I'm 40. Yeah. All right, we'll get back to that in a second. Are you talking about like the electric one, or are you talking about?
No. Don't do it. I'm so against electric. Gas or nothing. I get it. It's convenient. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not ready for that transition yet. All gas for now. I think. But yeah, I'm a big Mustang guy. If you don't get a Mustang, get a F-150. To me, they're crazy reliable, those trucks. But anyway, those are my 2 cents. But as far as the dealership stuff goes, I get it. In my undergrad program, I worked for a company that did advertisements for a lot of dealerships, mainly used car dealerships, and I saw basically the intricacies of the most grimiest car guys. It's just as bad as you think it is. It's even worse behind the scenes. It's nuts. It's terrible. Those guys, there's nothing much to say. It's terrible to deal with unless you're like bringing in a lump sum of cash. Then it is that whole little cat and mouse dance. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in the finance manager and then their assistant and the light bulb manager, and there's so many circle jerks with that.
Okay, so with my wife's car, right?
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. So she left the Elk Grove dealership because they wanted to upcharge her on the color, which was white. White was a premium color. Like, what are we doing, right? And so she goes to the Lodi dealership
Yeah.
And you agree on the terms of the car. And I wasn't there. I would have advised her here. But you agree on the terms of the car, and then comes, you think you're done. That's when you're taking your breather. No, that's when they hit you with, what about the extended warranty? What about car washes and oil changes for life? What about this? What about that? Right. And so she ended up doing the oil changes, as many as you want. You can do them whenever. And we started like a year after she bought the car. We would call in and be like, hey, we want to make an appointment for an oil change. And they'd be like, oh, we don't have appointments for like 3.5 weeks.
Oh, God.
And so then she called in using her maiden name. And she was like, yeah, I just want to see when your next available oil change is. And she called from a different line. Oh, we could get you in tomorrow. And
Damn.
so the dealership ended up changing owners. And so we got a letter in the mail saying you don't have oil changes for life now. You have 2 oil changes per calendar year. So like it's just like the stuff like that. That's why it's like, go deal with the EDH motors. Go deal with them. Let them handle that stuff.
No, yeah, that's frustrating as heck. And I mean, I get it. They change owners. It's not their thing, but you should still honor the customer. That's how you keep loyal customers. But I mean, the last thing about that, the rule of thumb is it's all under discretion. So they can make up any fee, processing, Gap, California, whatever the case may be. They can say to give you a $5,000 discount and then tax it on with a made up fee. You can always get all that taken care of by talking to the owner. So now I only learned that behind the scenes. The only way to really bypass everything is, hey, I just want to talk to the owner, see if I can make a deal with them. Scares them off. It makes them, it gets them angry. And then once you walk away, all right, let me call them. Because at the end of the day, they want to make a sale. But yeah, all of it is just, I hate the process because I've been through it millions of times. Like I said, working there and then buying my own stuff. But it's a ridiculous process unless, I guess you say EDH is great. I mean, good for them.
Oh, EDH is awesome.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I'm not trying to like overly pimp our sponsors, but when Grant took me under his wing, there was some things he let me in on, and he's eventually said some of these things on the air too. But one of the things as our relationship progressed when it got to sponsors, it's like, I do not use sponsors, or I do not have sponsors if I don't use their product and I completely believe in their product. I have turned down sponsorships because it's something that I don't use or I wouldn't use. And so anybody that you see on here, like Bennett's, EDH, Connor, New Works Plumbing, these are all people that we believe in, that we use, that we love, and we're lucky to have them as sponsors. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out really quick.
All right, well, that shows a lot of integrity. So great, shout out to you and Grant. So I mean, I guess last point of that topic, what are you leaning towards, or are you not even in that mindset yet?
I'm still in the grieving phase right now, where it's just it's shock and awe. But yeah, it stinks. I hate it.
I mean, you said it was total, so that must have been a semi-big crash. Like, you're good?
No,
you're okay?
I'm fine. It was not. It was not that bad. Cops didn't even come. It was not that bad. That's what's crazy. Maybe it's because of my car. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, so do you drive a Mustang? I assume.
Yeah. I drive. So I've owned 4 of them in my lifetime, and then I have an F-150 also. Because you have to have a truck, and it did, like, I know some people, they rag on Ford. They call it found on road dead. I've never had issues with Fords. I love them. So
right.
I just stick to them.
And don't forget, Alex.
Come after me.
He's a man. He's 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm not 40 though. You're 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
Me.
You made me say I'm
a
40.
man.
Now I have to play it again. All right.
Yeah. I won't be there for a good amount of years, so I'm all right for now. But
all right, brother.
Yeah. Well, as far as the Kings go, I do hope we win today and the Mavericks lose, so we could just kind of rest the guys for the last 2 games. Because I guess if that happens, we clinched the 9th, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't know the exact math of it, but yeah, you will probably, if the Mavericks lose and the Kings win tonight, you will be the 9. It's looking like you will be the 9 right now.
Yeah. So I just like them to get take a couple of days off in case they do win the both playing games, because I believe the first round would start almost immediate after game 2 of the play-in, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
it's a quick turnaround. It's like 24 hours. You
Yeah,
get a day
so,
off, and you're in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in that mindset right now. Whereas we're already here, why not just go for it? Let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's enjoy this crazy roller coaster Kings ride. I mean, we're fans. Let's just see what happens. Why not?
Yep. Amen. Appreciate you. Good job by you. Acknowledge it. Good job, Alex.
Acknowledge me.
Good call from him. And did you notice he was not driving? He was pulled over or sat in the front seat of the car. Appreciate that, Alex. Don't do that while driving. Nurko, you nailed it. I was trying to wrap my head around it when I talked to the agent today. And first off, when they say this is so-and-so from Total Loss, you know what's coming at that point. But she said that for whatever reason, and by the way, Peter, I'm not driving my wife's car. I can still drive my car, which is another reason that it's mind-blowing. But that's what she literally said what you're explaining right there, that the manpower and the hours and how they have to tail it into the back passenger door, even though it's only a quarter panel. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So well done by you. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it there. All right. So how we feeling about tonight, y'all? Feeling good? Ready for tonight? Kevin needs his yeet. I don't know. Are you feeling better about yeet? Hey, Kevin. You were on X. Weren't you on X? You know what? I'll handle that later. I already answered my own question. Never mind. How you feeling about the Jay Uso thing now? I don't know if it really changes things for me. The whole I feel like they're setting up for Jimmy to mess with Jay at WrestleMania. Now that the main event for night 1 is the Punk and the Reigns match and the Rollins match. Night 2 is going to be Cena and Rhodes. You've got to think, if they're squeezing Jay and Gunther into the opening spot, they're not going to do a big pop celebration for Jay winning the title. They're not. Yeah, and you know what? I was thinking, because the other Kevin that pops up in my feed is Kevin Flippin, and it's the same thing we went over a couple weeks ago. I thought you lost your father. Kevin Flippin lost his father. So I just had one of those moments. And no, Adam, that is not the bat signal for you to get up here and talk about wrestling for 20 minutes. That will be on Friday. Speaking of talking, a lot of it is done by Luka Doncic. It's part of his game, right? It's what Luka does. Luka loves to talk. And I actually kind of respect it. I'm cool with it. If you like that as part of basketball, there's some players that's just their game. Now, if it's directed at the officials, it can become a little too much. We got a heavy dose of it with DeMarcus Cousins here in Sacramento. We started to get too much of it from De'Aaron Fox, and then it backed down a little bit. Luka has a, you want to say a character, you want to say a gimmick. His gimmick is always just riding the officials. So I will acknowledge me, and say that I do not enjoy that part of his game. But when it comes to getting into it with fans, as long as that's a two-way street and it's not crossing the line, and I don't need to spell out what that line is, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of fun, right? As long as you're not doing anything that's going to make the player want to come rip your head off. And as long as, by the way, the important thing that I just said, two-way street. Don't, if you're a player, be barking at somebody in the crowd and then have that person bark back and then get security to pull that person out of the arena. I've seen Chris Paul do that. I've seen Russell Westbrook do that. I've seen multiple players do that. I don't like that. It needs to be a two-way street. And Luka realizes that. Now, time and place, Luka. For those that don't know, Oklahoma City got smashed by the Lakers a couple of weeks ago. Just smashed. To the point where, not even a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a week and a half ago, to the point that people were asking in the national media, all right, let's start is OKC ready for the big time again? Or the Lakers legit? Well, the Lakers were planning, if you looked at their injury report, because they were on the first night of a back-to-back last night in Oklahoma City, planning to rest their guys. And there was a lot of talk going on mainstream about, oh, are they playing mind games with OKC? Because the big game, even though that last night was the bigger game according to the standings, the game tonight for the Lakers in Dallas is undoubtedly the most important to Luka, which means it's going to be the most important to his teammates, because they seem to have come together pretty well. I can't dispute that. Well, they weren't going to play the guys. And maybe that was a little bit of gamesmanship, but then you find out everybody's playing for the Lakers. Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. It's a great game. It's back and forth. Luka had picked up a technical earlier in the game. We get to early in the fourth quarter. It's a 1-point basketball game. I take you to Lakers radio in John Ireland.
Hey, with him, Luka throws up an 8-footer. Good. And the Lakers lead 108-107.
Oh, Luka just got thrown out.
Why?
He was talking trash to a fan, and the referee thought he was talking to him.
Oh, this is an absolutely horrible decision by JT Orr, by the official. Absolutely horrible. You cannot throw a star player out of an NBA game for talking to a fan.
No, the referee thought he was talking to him, and that's why he threw Luka out.
You cannot do this. Oh, my gosh. This is unconscionable. You cannot do this in a game that's this good. This is one of the worst pieces of officiating I have ever seen, and I've done this for 25 years. I hate this call, and I would say the same thing if they were doing it to Shea. The free throw's good to tie the game at 108. You cannot, Michael, throw a star player out of the game for talking to a fan.
He didn't think he was talking to the fan.
I don't care.
The referee thought he was talking to him. That's why he threw Luka out.
They had 3 Lakers explain it to him, and he still stuck to his guns because his ego is bigger than Luka staying in the game. Stay with him, Luka.
That was an all-time call. Whether you agree with John Ireland or you don't, that's as raw as it gets. And after Luka, and here, let me set the stage for you for those that have not seen the highlight. LeBron James, all of Luka's team, the core of the team, 3 of them, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and I don't know who the third person was, came rushing up to JT Orr, the official. JT Orr has been known to have a very odd ejection pattern at times. And that's kind of come out today if you've listened to any of the mainstream media's reports on this and discussions about it. But the Thunder went on a massive run and the game was over. And that was it. Luka gets thrown out. The ref did not overturn his call. And this is where I think the conversation starts. And I need to ask you to do a couple of things so we can be qualified to have this conversation. Because what John Ireland said at the end of it, to me, was the most important about you can't let your ego. It was something along the lines about as a referee, you've got to check your ego. Let's play it one more time.
Had 3 Lakers explain it to him, and he still stuck to his guns because his ego is bigger than Luka staying in the game.
Okay, with him, Luka.
That stuck with me. And I think there's something there. Now, Grant said this because he's been around way more courts than I have in my lifetime, NBA courts. That there's magic words that you say and you're gone. Like if a ref hears it, whether it's directed at a fan, whether it's directed at them, you're gone. But back to the qualifiers of this conversation. The first qualifier that I want you to do is I want you to just look at Luka as any other NBA player that does not chirp at the referees. I understand that I'm asking you to suspend your belief, much like watching WWE or a soap opera. Suspend your belief. Luka is Keon Ellis, right? Keon Ellis is going back and forth with a fan. He says something to the fan. Keon gets ejected. There has got to be a mechanism. And the mechanism is exactly what John Ireland said. That ref knew he was wrong. That ref knew, in my opinion, that he would be able to defend his action based off of, number one, the first technical, but based off of Luka's quote-unquote character. That can't happen. Like, unless Luka said the worst of the worst things, to have 3 teammates come to your defense, and by the way, yeah, right, keep talking wrestling. By the way, as soon as LeBron makes a beeline for JT Orr, I've never seen somebody back up so quick. Like they were about to get hit by a Mack truck. It was hilarious if you go back and watch the clip. But Luka was clearly talking to a fan. It was not directed at the official whatsoever. And I'm not going to say it lost the game for the Lakers, but that has got to be something where at the very least the officials come together and talk about it. We see other officials overrule their crewmates because they saw a different angle. They heard a different thing. Nope. JT Orr just walking straight to the table, not going to back down. I felt for Luka in that moment. In fact, Luka, I actually had a lot of respect for what Luka had to say after the game. Here's what Luka said.
Friendly banter sometimes with fans throughout the game. So was that what was going on in the fourth and the referee misinterpreted, or how did you see that happen?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it that happened. But, I never got a fan ejected, never. But if he's going to talk, I'm going to talk back like always. So that had nothing to do with the ref, so I didn't really understand.
This goes back. This fan that he was talking to. Thanks, Manuel. That's bad news. I'm starting to worry about his back. Yeah, stinks. We'll talk about it more here in a second. This fan that Luka was bantering with back and forth, it dates back to the playoffs last year. They were going back and forth. It was clearly happening this game. It was more friendly than anything else. This guy who's a tattoo artist in Oklahoma City has come out and talked about it. It's part of Luka's game. It is what it is. Now, okay. Now let's come back to reality. I'm not asking you to suspend your beliefs anymore. It's on Luka. He can't do it. You just can't do it. Time and place, my man. At the very least, because you have built up this reputation. You have even though you get star calls, you have a short leash with the officials. Okay? So I would say this. You want to go back and forth with the fan? Go back and forth with the fan, but try to use some language that's not universal for ejection. But at the end of the day, it's on Luka. Bad call, right call. He has built himself this reputation. So it's a problem with basketball, but it's also his problem too. It was very unfortunate because if you were watching that game, it was a heck of a basketball game. It was a really fun basketball game. Luka returns tonight in Dallas. That's the front end of the doubleheader between the ESPN broadcasts. Don't forget, Jerry Reynolds will be on doing the broadcast for the Kings. JT Orr, man, watch that. That is going to be a conversation that continues. There's a lot of college coaches that have been speaking up about how this guy got into the NBA. I don't know him. I don't want to slander him. I've never met him. Just know what I've read. So it'd be interesting to see what Grant has to say about JT Orr. But enough about JT Orr. We're talking Kings. We're talking Nugs. Kings have locked up that locked up a play-in position. Still going for the 9th seed tonight. As we said, Dallas is playing Los Angeles. You got to think that LA wins that game, even if it wasn't Luka's return. But we will see as we get closer to this one. If they do and the Kings win tonight, then you're going to be the 9. Right now, it looks like you're going to be the 9. You should be the 9 in the West, hosting the Mavericks, which I'm happy for this fan base. I'm happy you should get a home game. But as somebody said, it looks like Keegan is out tonight. Let's check the lineups and see if that has been officially announced. I have not been looking at my phone or my iPad. So drum roll, please. Is Keegan Murray going to be out tonight? I sure as heck hope not. You need him. Keegan Murray is out. There you go. Wow. Early out, too. He didn't even warm up. Well, the good thing is, here's the good thing. The good thing is the Kings tend to play well when they have to rally together, but this is going to be a well said. Kings big boys have to show up tonight. They are. You're going to have a monster night from DeMar and Zack LaVine. If you're just joining us, my biggest worry for tonight and for the Kings going forward with Malik Monk out as well is, are the Kings going to play at a DeMar DeRozan pace or are they going to play at a Zack LaVine pace? Think you got to play at a Zack LaVine pace. That's going to be the best thing for you, but I'm with you guys. Man, I was hoping Keegan was going to play. No, Keegan is out tonight. So no Keegan Murray. That hurts with Denver's lineup, with Porter Jr., with Aaron Gordon. That's rough. That is rough. You're probably I know that Doug's going to want to go small with Trey, but yeah, you're going to have to go small with Trey. Trey and Sabonis to begin. And how is Doug going to manage those minutes? You know who's going to be an X factor tonight? It's going to be Isaac Jones. IJ is going to have to get some run tonight, and IJ is going to have to play well. This is the exact type of game that if you were Monty McNair and you are Doug Christie or were Mike Brown back then, and you were considering having Isaac Jones as a two-way and or as a full-time roster spot player, these are the games you think about. Matchups where you have an Aaron Gordon, where you have a Michael Porter Jr., where IJ has some of that freaky athleticism, still a little bit raw. He's going to be that X factor tonight for the Kings with Keegan out. No doubt about it. And the Kings are going to have to, who's going to be that person that you're throwing at Jokic? I think that was very effective with LaRavia when they met the last time, but I don't know who that is tonight. It's not really Trey's game. Trey can be physical, but you can't put Trey. And how is Doug going to manage JV? This might very well be a game. And here's the other thing, too, to watch for. With Jokic, he does not like coming out too far defensively. He likes staying in. Baki will talk about this. He likes staying in. So can Sabonis pick and choose the correct spots to pull that three-pointer? And can he start making some? Because he's going to have to pull a few of them tonight. Everything's going to have to come together tonight for this Kings team to win. Everything at this point. Denver is going to try to smother LaVine and Debo. Kings have to play up-tempo for 4 quarters, no doubt. I'm with you there. I am completely with you. And remember, this is a Denver team that just fired Michael Malone. So they're going to be probably going to have a little bit of a lift, a little bit of extra bounce in their step. David Adelman taking over. Yes, Coach Adelman's son, David. He is the interim head coach. Uphill battle for the Kings tonight. Wow. I was hopeful Keegan was going to play. Very unfortunate. Don't forget, we are back here in just a couple of hours. We're going to get much more into the numbers on the pregame show. That's at 6:15. Looking forward to that. Hopefully you can join us. And man, what a night. Jerry Reynolds will not be here at halftime. If you just joined us, we went through some heavy and secret and guarded negotiations with the Kings. And I'm making this up. He is calling tonight's game. He's going to be the analyst on, what is it? NBC Sports California. So Jerry is back in the saddle for one night. So Grant and I will handle the halftime responsibilities. But Jerry did want me to pass along that he will miss being with all of you and us at halftime. And he will be back next game. And then Grant and I will wrap it up for you tonight with the post-game show. Man, Keegan Murray. He knew it was a possibility, but I don't know. What percentage do y'all give this? Here's the positives. Denver is not playing well. Has not been playing well. 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 4 in a row. You've got LaVine and DeRozan playing out of their minds. You're going to need something from Keon Ellis. You got to get something from Keon Ellis tonight, offensively. And how do you mix Valanciunas? I think at some point tonight, Doug's going to have to go to that big lineup. That double big lineup. And probably mix in some zone defense too. Big battle for the Kings. Huge. This is a big ask. This is a very big ask of them tonight. One day off of an East Coast road trip. And maybe that's a good thing with Zach being a shooter. But it's got to be, again, my key to this one, it has to be a LaVine style game. It's got to be a LaVine tempo. Can't be a DeMar DeRozan tempo, because Denver will play that tempo with you all night and they will kill you because they've got the best in the world at it in Jokic. 40% chance of winning. Yeah, I think you got to play the Twin Towers. I do. They're missing Murray. I get it, but I talked about this earlier. For as great as Jokic is, part of what makes Jokic's lure and aura and what's special about him so great is he does it so many times in a passive way. But you know he can take over the game at any time. Anytime. And so an aggressive Jokic, that kind of worries me. It worries me. But yeah, they've lost 4 in a row with an aggressive Jokic. So we'll see. Jerry going to give a shout out? No. Why would he do that? No, I would never, ever ask Jerry to do that. Ever, ever, ever. Just like I have never asked Grant to help get me a guest. I would never do that. Ever, ever, ever. That should be, that would be a fun conversation, though. I'm not going to lie. I hope, I'm guessing Mark Jones is doing a game for ESPN tonight, either Sacramento or the first game. I hope Jerry is working with Drapes. I really do. I hope that they get to work together. Kings 124-118. Okay. Will I be co-hosting the Waterhole at 5? Or no, I will not be co-hosting the Waterhole at 5. But you can go check out Haunted Horse at 5 in between our shows. So Patrick off the clock. Love it. Big news. As we just learned, Keegan Murray going to be out tonight in this one. You were already without Malik Monk and Jake LaRavia. So, yes. Okay. Yes. A6 Quattro. There you go. That is my love on four wheels. Was my love on four wheels. Let it rip, Paul. I don't know if you play them together, Rhino. Foul situation dictates. Yeah, well, and here's the other thing. There's not. Well, I guess there is too. Well, I'm going back and forth in my head. Yeah, it's a tough ask. Just because they're a little bit more nimble, a little bit more athletic, and I guess that's where it's like, all right, can you maybe get them to play JV's game a little bit here and there, and get them into foul trouble? No, I'm not going to go back to Audi. I'm not. I love it, but I'm not going to go back to one. I'm heavily, again, I am intrigued by electric. So, but we will see. Mason Jones, he's on his way back from Orlando. Doge is here. What's up? Kings have no bench tonight. What do you mean? You got Terrence Davis back. We're saved, baby. You remember those tweets yesterday? Everybody saying TD's back. The savior. King season. Back on track. Yeah, no, it's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Yeah, if you're just joining the show, I shared with you that before I came on the air, I found out that my car is total. Not the news I wanted. Like, I'd do anything just to, like, snap my fingers and have it fixed and just have it be the way it was. But everything happens for a reason. So we got into a discussion about cars on the show. So the Nuggets, by the way, mixing in basketball here, they beat you 3 times this year. So look, throw the kitchen sink at them. That's what I would do. Maybe some Doug McDermott. You know, Doug Christie is going to play Doug McDermott. Unreliable? Are you kidding me? That thing is a tank, my man. That's why we were going 45 miles an hour, and I'm still able to drive that car. That thing's a tank. That thing's built well. It's awful with gas. Looks nice. Okay. Yeah, Kush. No, I'm not going. I'm not there yet. I'm in the grieving phase. Yeah, it was like a 50-50 thing. It was. If I'm being biased here. I know I'm being biased. Anybody that's familiar with Elk Grove, getting onto I-5, once you get past like the businesses and stuff, there's this short stoplight, and then you get onto I-5. I was going to get over one lane to take the southbound entrance to go to Stockton. I checked around me because we had a red light. Nobody was to my left. Went through the light, looked over, nobody to my left. Looked in my mirror, nobody to my left. Started going over to my left. Boom. So I think what happened is the dude came flying through the intersection at the green light, and he was just in my blind spot. So, like I said, it's drivable, but it's totaled. It's crazy. It's hard to comprehend. Hard to comprehend. Let's see. Sorry, I had an anti-boy, one Audi, an anti-buy one Audi, and it started to act up the first 2 years. Yeah, well, every car is different. That's why they got the lemon law. I mean, outside of normal maintenance that happens with it, you have to, if you're gonna get a European car, you come to accept what comes with it, which is the maintenance, which is scheduled. Oh, dude, don't start. Dennis, we were having a great show. I mean, a really good show.
Step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
And you got to bring up the beef stew thing. I thought we left that behind. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, you know what? As you guys said, somebody could have been hurt. All that. All is good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paul. Hey, is this Rhino in Sacktown? Yeah, this is Rhino in Sacktown. Hi, my name's Ann from the Total Loss Department with your insurance company. Yeah. But you know what was kind of cool? I'll give you one little insight, and then we'll get out of here because we're coming back at 6:15. I'm like, any way we could bump that number up? I'm like, is there room for negotiation on that number that you sent me? Because I didn't get the email beforehand. I got the phone call that said, look at your email. And so it was strategic. She wanted me to see that number while I was on the phone with her at the same time. And so I'm like, any way to get that number up? And she's like, well, tell me how. And I'm like, well, how do people usually do that? Like, how do you negotiate? Can you negotiate? And she's like, well, some people will send comps in their area of cars similar to theirs, and we'll review them. And 99% of the time, we will not approve them. We will not raise our price off of any comp you send us. I'm like, okay, so that option's out. And I was like, is there anything else? She's like, well, have you put new tires on the vehicle like in the last month or two? I'm like, about 6 months ago. And I'm like, oh, I just replaced all of my brakes in mid-February. Just replaced all my brakes. She goes, send me that invoice right now. Send me that invoice. Let me get that over to the people to review. So I'm hoping that bumps it up. So we will see. So there's some good to it, I guess. But again, it's one of those things when you love your car, you got no car payment, and now you're losing your car. Anyways, lucky to have a car, lucky to be okay. Bigger problems in the world. That is a micro thing. One thing that is never, ever, ever a problem, and that is the food. When you go check out Bennett's restaurants, 3 here in the greater Sacramento area, Rockland, Roseville, Howe, and Fair Oaks. Happy hour going all week, 2 to 6 o'clock. Make sure, by the way, you should probably do this pretty soon. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Make your Mother's Day, Easter reservations, big dates coming up. Get in there this time of year because they've got some beautiful patios, especially Rockland and Roseville, where you can go enjoy the spring weather, have a great meal, and brunch. One of my favorites, our family's favorite, 11 to 2 p.m., all 3 locations on the weekends. Prime rib, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Other great specials throughout the week as well. And they're rolling out some new lunch specials. that look really good. These craft sandwiches, not craft cheese, craft made sandwiches with some great cured meats. Look amazing. Those will be offered weekdays 11 to 4 p.m. So what I'm saying, go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. They're always mixing it up. The one consistent is the food is off the charts all the time. Prime cuts of seafood and steak. We appreciate Brian. We appreciate Margot, their entire team. And when you go, let them know that you heard about them here on the channel and vice versa. If you go to Bennett's, let us know and we will tell them. We love passing that stuff along to Brian. Some of you have actually met Brian. Some of you have had your bills discounted because you mentioned the show or met Brian. So let us know. Give them some support. We love the support they give us, and we are in love with their food as well. Like Grant pulls double days when he's here in town. He will have lunch and dinner at Bennett's. Think about that for a second. So big thanks to Brian and the team. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Go make your reservations right now. You can put in to-goes right there on the website, buy gift cards, PK, and more. So huge thanks to them. And I'm telling you, the food to die for. Even if like you want something on the lighter side, the steak Cobb salad, probably one of my favorite salads in town. And I'm a pretty well-versed salad eater. Like I know the places to go get a good salad. I know the places where to get a bad salad. Like Bennett's is off the charts. So big thanks to them for sure. All right. Anything as we get out the door? Beavis, does Bennett's, why are we doing this, Beavis? Y'all trying to bring this thing off the rails. You're all trying to bring it off the rails. You know, I didn't get to my Zion Williamson take. I was really hoping to get to that.
Down, and it's time to sauce it up. Oh boy, is my mouth watering. You're gonna want to put a big dollop of that tangy red.
I wish a Bennett steak for all. Great afternoon, chat. Appreciate you, Matthew. Bro, Ryan, you do an amazing job, brother. Appreciate that. Love hearing you and Grant and Jerry. Tell Bennett's to give you a check to purchase a new car since you always give them a shout out. Just saying. No, you know what? It is a two-way street. They are just as great as to us as we are to them. And all of you have been amazing to them as well. So that is more than enough. Their sponsorship, their support, their friendship. I love Brian, Margot, and a lot of the team over there. So great stuff. Appreciate the compliments. Both my car's water pumps went out in the last 3 months. Is that expensive, Mark? I'm not a car guy for the most part. Like I will admittedly say that when I did not do as much research as I should have before I got the car that's totaled, because I probably should have done a little bit more, which means this is going to be a different experience. And by the way, I am definitely, once we settle on what it's going to be, I'm going to be giving EDH Motors a shout out. They will take the hassle out of the process for you, whether it's buying, selling, trading in a car. Let them handle it. They've got their own lounge right there. Old Town, El Dorado Hills. They will take the messiness, the time, the annoying salespeople, all the extra add-ons, the extended warranties, the clown making balloons for your kid. Gone. Snap of the fingers. They handle it. You tell them what you want. You tell them what you need. They come through for you. You pick it up at their office. Go give them a shout. I am definitely going to be giving them a shout here in the near future. EDHmotors.com. Go check them out. So, all right, we're back. 6:15. If you're just joining us, don't forget, because I know we're seeing some new people. Make sure that when you watch the game tonight, you're watching NBC Sports California. Because unfortunately, Mr.
Holy moly, Zimbabwe
will not be with us at halftime because he is going to be with all of you doing the game tonight. He's filling in for Katie. So if you want to get your dose of Jerry Reynolds today, that's where you're going to get it. He is calling the game tonight on NBC Sports California. Wish him the best of luck. Know he's going to kill it. Happy to see him back in the saddle for a night. I know all of you saying you wish you had Grant too. Hey, enjoy the fact that you got Jerry as well. Oh, wow. Wolf, dude, you're being too good to me, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Do you think this is a revenge game for us? I don't know. That's actually a decent question. I don't think so. I thought a bigger revenge game was the Detroit game because of what happened. And I know Sabonis didn't play in that one. Man, you're going to need a big night out of Sabonis too. You're going to need a triple-double from Sabonis. You can't have any of your front line get into foul trouble. None of them. IJ is going to have to. Sure, we could do that. Absolutely. I'm trying to think if I have any Macho Man. I don't think I have any Macho Man. We could definitely get a "ooh yeah" mixed in there. That's a slobber knocker of an idea. Appreciate that. Well, yeah, we will mix that in for sure. But yeah, you can't have any of your front line get in foul trouble. IJ, everybody's gonna have to be good tonight. I don't care that Jamal Murray's out. You're missing Keegan Murray. You're missing Malik Monk. And again, it's got to be at a Zack LaVine pace, not a DeMar DeRozan pace. Jerry's calling the game. That's right, Doge. Jerry is calling the game for Katie tonight. No idea why Katie's taking a night off, from what I understand. She made an announcement on the radio earlier today. I did not hear it, though. But that's why I teased you yesterday, and I said, y'all are going to be really happy when the Denver game rolls around. Y'all are going to be really happy. Okay. You got to know that I'm a little bit better than that. Come on. Have some decorum around here in the King's Court. You don't think that we have that? You don't think that we don't have that in the library? That's in the library. Woo! Come on. Woo! There you go. Big woo for Jerry Reynolds. All right, we're out. Hey, pregame show, 6:15. Come join us. And we won't run super long, so you can get Jerry's open and all that. I know that that's going to be pretty cool for many of you. We are happy to share him tonight, and hope he does a great job. He obviously will do a great job. So yeah, we will be back 6:15. Don't forget halftime as well. Grant and I will break down the first half. No Jerry, because he will be with you through the telecast, and post game. We'll be taking your calls, hopefully talking about a Kings win. Everything's going to have to break right. That's all I'm going to say. It's got to break right. Better hope that the Nuggets that have lost 4 in a row, that are 3-7 in their last 10, that just fired their head coach yesterday, you better hope that team rolls into Sacramento tonight. Big ask. First game back off of a road trip, East Coast road trip. But if you're going to the game, get loud, y'all. Make it. It's so funny. We were saying this was going to be like the worst homestand to go to. Somebody called up and said that the amount of tickets up for resale was at a season high. And then all of a sudden the Kings run 3 in a row off. And we're here. I think the atmosphere tonight, national TV, is going to be electric. So get loud if you're at the game. Hopefully the Kings give you something to get loud about. Woo! We're out of here. Court dismissed.